Hey, Walleye Wisdom Watchers, this is Gary Spiker reporting from the Cedar Rapids Sports Show with Ranger Evinrude Pro Tommy Skarlis. Tommy, you've got a tip for us on something new from Berkeley, is that right?
Well, it's something that led to something new from Berkeley. I've been jig fishing my whole life, or at least since I was just a wee little one. And you know, a lot of times you wonder what color, what size jig, what size bait to use. A lot of that can be determined by the forage. The other thing that you can do is, instead of trying to figure out if they're feeding on this forage or that forage, is put different looks down in the water and see which one the fish prefer. Fish a dark jig and a light jig, find out what the color is. Fish a heavy jig or a light jig, find out what the size is, etc., etc. And sometimes, by just simple trial and error, you can get there faster than you can by getting scientific about it. Sometimes we overthink fish. They have a brain the size of the pea. But one thing I want to show you is that when you're in a forage base where there's shiners, minnows, something long and slender smelt, then I'm going to want to use one shape like this. This is a power minnow. I use a lot of gulp minnows. I just about won the FLW championship with a gulp minnow. And it was just a long, slender minnow, and that's what they were feeding on. But when you get into shad, bluegills, white bass, something that's taller than that, what you're going to want to do is employ two shapes. And what I'll do is I'll take a gulp or a power bait, which again is not meant for human consumption. Okay. And in turn, I'll take that and I'll bite it at an angle, and I'll put this on the hook. This is something that we call the double decker. And what that'll do is that'll bulk that up, and that'll give you a bigger, wider, fatter profile, more similar to a shad. You notice I also bit that at an angle so that you've got a smaller piece of plastic on that one hook. And in turn, what that does is that allows you to have a lot more hook exposed so you can end up catching more fish. We've just come out with a new product by Berkeley, though, that was meant to emulate shad, bluegill, crappie, you get it, a fatter, taller forage base, which is this fat bottom shad. I had to look at it, it's so new.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if they called it flat bottom or fat bottom, but fat bottom shad, you make the walleye world go round.
Yeah, and I'm not going to call you fat bottom Tommy either, so...
You know what though? Match the hatch, or experiment with slender and taller shapes or fatter shapes, and let the fish tell you what they want.
Very good. Thanks for that tip, Tommy. Appreciate it. See you later.